Formatting the pivot chart. When you select the chart, up at the top of your screen you will now see a Pivot Chart Tools section, and in it you'll see there's Design, there's Layout, there's Format, and there's Analyze. Clicking on the Design tab will allow you to do things like change the chart type. You'll be able to select different data and go in and apply different chart styles to the chart itself. So for example, you might not want the default, which is a column chart. So clicking on the very first icon here, Change Chart Type, will allow you to choose a different type of chart, for example a line chart. Choose the type of line chart, press OK, and your data will change into that particular type of chart. Going back into Change Chart Type, I could for example choose a bar chart, choose the type of bar chart, press OK, and once again you can see my data has changed into a bar chart. I'm going to return back to the column charts and press the OK button. And the next option that's quite handy to use up here in the Design tab is being able to switch the row column. If I click on that, what it does is it swaps what was in the legend and what was in the Axes field. So now we'll see the salespersons are down on the Axes, and in the legend we have our product. So I suppose it depends on how you want to analyze it. Is it per product or is it per salesperson, for example, that you're looking at? We then have the different color schemes or styles that we can apply, and if you click in here you'll see there's a range of different styles and color schemes that you can apply to the selected chart. Clicking on the Layout tab, you then see more advanced features to do with charts. These features or icons at the top here are exactly what you'll find when you're dealing with any chart in Excel. So if you were to go back through your Excel courses, in there you'll see a section on charts which will go through each of these items in more detail. For example, I could add a chart title, I could go in and change the Axes features, I could go in and change where the legend is on the screen. I can add a data label to any of the columns that exist in my chart, and I can also insert a data table. Other options in here that are quite handy are things like trend lines. So I can put in, for an example, an exponential trend line, decide where I'd like to add the trend line, for example to the mobile column, and press OK, and in pops a trend line onto the chart. I can also go in here and click None, and it will take away any trend lines that are currently on the chart. Formatting is when you want to go in and change the color schemes, but not to any of the default styles that we saw earlier in the Design tab. But in Format, we can change them to our own preferences. So for example, I could select one of the series, and then in here, click a style, and it's only that series that it will change. So if I select another series, I can go and I can change that to something different again, select another series, and I can change that to something different as well. So I'm not going with any of the built-in styles, but I'm selecting my own styles, and that's in the Format tab. Analyze is when you want to go in and do things particular to the pivot table itself. We'll be looking at the Analyze tab later when we're looking at the drill down and slicer tools, but these are the kinds of things that we can do in here. One of these, I suppose, that you can decide is whether you want to show the particular buttons. For example, the salesperson and the product button, you can turn on these on or off. But as I say, we'll go through these in more detail in this course as you go through the lessons. Just make sure at this point that you're happy with the likes of the Design, the Layout, and the Format tab.